You're going to go from here and push up from the ground. Come back down, push up. Come back down, push up. Now make sure you're not doing this with your neck. Keep your neck clear as you push up. And again, you're going to retract the scapula. Lift, release, retract, lift, release. Little down, little up. Push, back. But remember, what you're always trying to get is this to flatten, yeah, here. So you're pushing in with the muscle that pulls the scapula onto the ribs. Hi, and welcome back to Kalari Lab Online. Today we're going to look at some preliminary exercises that you can do before learning the Hanuman Dand. So I want to start teaching the ground exercises, but before we do that, I want to make sure you're getting good scapular movement and that the shoulders are stabilized before you try and do these exercises. Otherwise you could aggravate any problems that are there and you won't get the full benefit from the exercise. So there's a couple of things I want to look at in order to target the traps, the rhomboids, to pull the shoulders back, and a little bit to work on the deltoid, just to stabilize posteriorly the shoulder. So first of all, we're going to do a familiar exercise. But before we do it, I just want you to find a way to retract your shoulder back. Now, what you basically want to do is to pull your scapula into the rib cage. So what you're doing is from here, you're pulling this in. So if you put your hand on your back, and usually you're going to find that if you're right-handed, it's your right scapula that is protruding. So if you put your hand on your back and you can feel a bone here, just try to pull it in. Now at the same time, try to make sure you're not closing like this. So you want to keep this released and just to pull in. Now first we're going to do a small stretch. So you're going to retract the scapula, turn the head to the right side, reach with the left arm, and allow this stretch to come up through the left side of the neck. And you're going to hold this for 30 seconds. It's very important to do these stretches first of all, because the shortened muscles will prevent the other muscles from working properly. So we first want to lengthen these areas that are shortened. Okay, and then the other side. So again, reaching now with the right arm, bringing the left ear towards the left shoulder. And you should feel the stretch running down here on the side of the neck. You're reaching the shoulder down by reaching with the hand, and you're gently bringing this ear towards the shoulder. So all the way down here you'll feel the stretch, probably down the arm as well. 30 seconds on each side and gently release, okay? Do those exercises gently. I want you to again retract the scapula. So bring the scapula into the rib cage, bring the hands in front, and this is a familiar exercise. Open and close the chest. Open and close. Open and close. You can go up onto the toes if you wish. Add another dynamic to it. So you're also working on balance. But most importantly, keep the scapula retracted. Now, next one, again, a familiar exercise. So the shoulders back and down. And you're going to take now the arms up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Each time making sure you keep the scapula retracted. So 7 of this one, 7 of this one. Now, we're now going to go down onto the mat and we're going to target serratus anterior. Serratus anterior is the muscle that is pulling your scapula into the spine. So your scapula sits on into the ribs. The scapula sits on the ribs. We want to make sure it's pulled into the ribs, pulled into the rhomboid, pulled into the spine by the rhomboid, and pull down by the lower traps towards the spine. So we're going to target these 3 pairs of muscles, or sets of muscles. So the first one, and we can do this to start with, on the knees. Now place the hands in a wide position with the thumbs up. Make sure your knees are in the middle. You're going to go from here and push up from the ground. Come back down, push up. Come back down, push up. Now make sure you're not doing this with your neck. Keep your neck clear as you push up. So what's happening here, if I go on to do it with one arm, here, as I push up, my serratus anterior engages. As I come back down, it disengages. Engage. Disengage. Engage. Engage. So try to move the scapula all the way forward, all the way back. All the way forward, all the way back. You may need to come slightly forward if you feel your neck is getting compressed. And you push away from the ground. Push. Now once this becomes a little easy, you can do it slower. And hold it. Push, release. Push, release. Push, release. Push, release. Now, with all of these exercises, it's important not to go to the point of exhaustion because you'll lose the form, okay? So as soon as you feel exhaustion coming, rest. Now, for the next one, we're going to lie down on the front. I'm going to put the arms to the side and rest on your forehead. And again, you're going to retract the scapula. Lift, release, retract, lift, release, retract, lift, release, retract, lift, release, retract. Then sit back and rest. Take a moment to rest before you try the next one. You can sit up on high kneeling and wrapping the arms around the body. So I had a shoulder injury, as some of you may know, last year, and that's why I'm having to work on a lot of this work, because I almost broke my right arm. I wasn't able to do these ground exercises for quite some time. So you can use this as a first stage of rehabilitation before you start going into those weight-bearing Hanuman Dand exercises. Now, the next one that we want to do, we're going to place the hands wider apart. We're going to have the knees together again. Retract, little down, little up. Retract, little down, little up. Little down, little up. Retract. Retract. So keep engaging the serratus. And try not to allow, just like to come round to the front, please, Mum. And when you do this, don't let your elbows come out to the side. So keep your elbows straight. Retract, down, up. Retract, down, up. Down, up. And you'll see I'm not going all the way to the ground. This is, as I say, a preliminary exercise. We don't want to over-challenge. Okay, good. Once more, releasing. Now you should feel after doing that some stability, some tension, holding the shoulders. This one here, If you find this too difficult on the floor, you can do it on a wall, yeah? You have your wall, put the arms on the wall, push, back, push, back, push, back. And as it gets a little easier, you can step back, so you're leaning onto the wall. Push, back, push, back. But remember, what you're always trying to get is this to flatten, yeah, here. So you're pushing in with the muscle that pulls the scapula onto the ribs. Okay, now, the last thing we want to do just to release the back is again one of the lohas. So dropping forward, here and up, here, up, here, up. Looking through the legs, see what's behind you, see what's in front of you. Good, okay, and if you need, you can do once more this one. Good, okay, so this is, as I say, the beginning of what will become a series of videos where I teach you the Hanuman Dand exercises. There are several of these exercises, and we will go through them progressively as we have done all the other aspects that we've covered from Kalari DISSECTED. So please just take your time with these. I'm going to put the next video on in this series in 2 weeks. So for the next 2 weeks, if you need to work on your shoulder stability, if you want to do the Hanuman Dand but you're getting some pain in the shoulder or you don't feel enough strength, please work on this for now, okay? Soon we will build onto those exercises, and within a month, 6 weeks, you'll be able to do everything no problem, okay? Thank you, see you next time. Thank you, Mum. Naalikanam.